Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We're live. We're live. How's everyone doing this lovely Saturday? Anything fun going on for y'all? Are you ready to get some writing in? I am. Am I? That's a good question. Am I? I don't really know. I don't really know. Am I ready to get some writing in? I'm not in the writing mood, but I'm hoping this puts me in the writing mood, which these streams usually do. So, wonderful. Anyways, I also know that my Wi-Fi has been absolutely atrocious lately, so I do apologize for lack in quality or for any like digitizing or roboting. I have a Wi-Fi guy coming in a few hours, at like 4, I think, my time, and it's currently 1. I have a Wi-Fi guy coming to check it because yesterday I was fighting with it all day. So I do apologize if my Wi-Fi does anything stupid for you guys. But hello, are we ready to do some writing today? If you're new here, hi, my name is Jen. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my live stream. I love doing these. Anyways, hello, Carly. Hello, Iona. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Hey, yeah. I was gonna move it to tomorrow because of the Wi-Fi guy coming today, but then I was like, I have so much time between now and then, I can get a stream in. So it'll be okay. Hello, a fellow Jenna. We have the same name. I love it. Hello, welcome. Look at all of us coming in, doing some writing sprints. Hello. How's everybody doing this Saturday? What's everybody going to be working on? I think I'm going to be working on Project Dragon. We'll see how things work. Project Dragon is my epic adult fantasy that deals with dragons. If you couldn't tell from the project title. But yes. Welcome. We're going to be doing D20 sprints. Let me just set up my timer. I totally forgot about the timer. Oh, goodness. We're going to be doing D20 sprints because I got my D20s. I don't know which D20s I want to do today. Which one's doing it for me today? For a second, I thought I lost my mini one. I don't know. But yeah, you guys let me know what you guys are going to be working on today. What you guys are going to be, focusing on. I'll use those two for now. And then I'll leave the little baby one out for added flavor. My favorite thing to do is look at this massive D20 and then the baby. Anyways, sorry. I like to nerd out over my D&D dice. Excuse me. RK is drafting a sci-fi. Very fun. What kind of a sci-fi? Do tell. I am very intrigued. Carly is like, yeah, you're going to start writing today. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh, hell yeah. It's going to go so good. Iona's also working on their first chapter on your first draft. Oh my God. I always find those the hardest. So I wish you all the best getting into it and just kind of getting into the groove. I always find that it takes me probably the first, usually, I should say, takes me like the first 10,000 words to get like into the groove of a story. But in the case of Project Dragon, do I have any ability to write fast drafting wise? No. I am 15K into it, or just about, and I'm still struggling. But I wish you the best, Iona. This is going to be so good. Oh, thank you, fellow Jenna. Thank you. Today I'm going to be using, I'll show you if I can show you, this really beautiful milky pink gold plant thing. And then there's a flower in there. I don't know if you guys could tell, and gold leaf and stuff. And then I'm also going to be using my mini dice from Kraken. But these are part of my character dice for my current campaign that I'm in, which is a Curse of Strahd campaign. I'm playing a barbarian Furbolg who loves plants. I love her so much. She's so good. She's so sweet. Oh, RK, you're speaking my language. A cozy space opera. Oh my God. I want it. Can I have it, please? Oh my God, I want it. Anything with cozy in the title adjacent to something like high fantasy or space opera. I'm there. I am there. This just, yes, 100%. Oh my God. A reader magnet. What is that, Julie? What is that? A reader magnet? Is it like one of those magnet bookmarks? The magnet bookmarks that go over the page like this and like magnetize? Is it one of those? I'm intrigued. Revisions in the last 2 chapters of my 3rd book. Oh, that is very exciting, Jenna. Do you have any books out? Because I'm intrigued. Phoebe's crocheting a jumper. Amazing! Oh my gosh. That is so exciting. I love crochet. I love it so much. I just finished 2 baby blankets for my my coworker who's having twins in, I think her due date's in June, but twins, so probably May, which is very exciting. I love crochet so much. I've crocheted a few sweaters in my life as well, so that's very exciting. I'm glad you're here for just the vibes. Vibes are good. Thank you. I know they're stunning. I am obsessed. I'm obsessed. These are both from Dakota Irishy dice in Irish. In Irish? Yes, in Ireland. I really like them. Oh, good. I've played exactly 2 games in it, so I'm intrigued. And my friend who's DMing it is like, has forbidden all of us really, but me specifically, because I've told her about it. I really want to watch this TikTok-based podcast, but it's on YouTube. They are a Curse of Strahd campaign, and I really want to watch their campaign. And she's like, absolutely not. You're not allowed. And I'm like, but I want to watch it. It looks so good. She's like, it will spoil you for the campaign. No. And I'm like, it looks so good. When I'm done, when the campaign's over, I will. Freebie to introduce people to the series. Oh, that's so exciting. Julie, that's so cool. That's so cool. Entice people to purchase your books. What books do you got out, Julie? Tell me. Oh my God. Excuse you. Sword and Sorcery. Jenna O'Malley. I gotta look you up. I gotta find these books. Dude, yeah, I'm not gonna give myself spoilers this Strahd. I want to be surprised. The only issue is there's, I think, 2 or 3 in our party who have played a Curse of Strahd campaign before, so they know what's going on, even though my DM is like homebrewing it just a little bit to make it a little different, because one of our players DM'd a previous Curse of Strahd game, so like the DMs know everything. So it's fun to try not metagame. Anyways, I'm gonna look you up, Jenna O'Malley. This is fun. Jenna O'Malley. Jenna O'Malley. Curse in Ash. Guys, we're just gonna find new books to read today. Julie. Curse in Ash. Contemporary fantasy fae witch polyamorous novel. Oh my God. Is this the cover? Julie. That cover is gorgeous. Guys, look at this. How beautiful is that? I'm obsessed. Okay. Well, I'm keeping that on my radar. And then Jenna O'Malley. Tell me, fellow Jenna. Nope. That was the wrong link. I'm finding your Goodreads pages. I'm finding your Goodreads pages because I just want to read all the books. Hell yeah. Okay. I'm keeping those open. Guys, you should go support your fellow authors out there. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining my stream, fellow authors. I am yet to be published, fellow author, but I'm trying. I'm on query right now. And I actually got the first query rejection that actually hurt. the other day. It hurt because it was a rejection on a Twitter pitch contest. That like, I don't know if you guys know about hashtag SFFPit, but I participated in that, and I got a like from an agent, and then that agent has since rejected the manuscript, and it wasn't even not a manuscript, rejected the query, and it wasn't even a personalized rejection from her. It was a form rejection from the whole agency, and it hurt because it gave me hope that she really liked the pitch and she would be interested in like reading maybe more of it, but no. So query trenches, they suck. But besides the point. Yeah, I'm a little numb to him too, just because I know it's like part of the game. But that one hurt because I had gotten my hopes up. So don't get your hopes up, guys. Don't ever. Hello, Amber. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, that's very exciting. How do you plan your titles in advance? Because I know you need to have titles when you're planning out a cover, or do you? Because you could just get the cover art and then hope to God that your cover title will work on it, I guess. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I really want to be traditionally published. That's been like a goal of mine since I was like 5 years old. So I'm really hoping that it works. I've now, with that rejection that actually hurt, I've started coming to terms with the fact that this might not actually be published in this book in the way that I want it to be, because middle grade is really hard to do indie publishing for, because middle grade does best in bookstores because that's where kids are going to find them, right? Like kids are not going to go online necessarily and find them. Like we will, because we do that, right? Like adults, we look out for books and stuff, but middle grade, not necessarily. So that one might be, we'll see. I've only gotten 13 rejections, so I need to chill. We got a long way to go. Thank you. Oh, that's really cool, man. Gosh, I love outlining. I've never thought I could outline a full series, though. I feel like I could if I actually sat down and did it. But man, planning out a whole series and then outlining each one before you write them, my brain doesn't know how to do that. Scratch my hand sketch. Yeah. Expensive but worth it. Hell yeah, I believe it. I was looking up because I have an idea for a self-publishing or a self-published fantasy series that I'm going to hopefully be doing in the next few years. But I was looking up book cover artists because I want just to have them on my radar, because I want a very specific kind of cover for these books. And I was finding artists that charge $2,000, and I was like, well, goddamn, all right, I'm gonna save a lot of money to be able to do this for myself. So I mean, it's worth it. They know what they're doing, cover artists, but $2,000 is too much for me. Yeah. Oh man, outlining is my favorite thing to do. I need to know where I'm going in my story for it to make any sense at all. I cannot just dive in without having my ending plotted out and know where I'm going. So it could be literally outlining beat by beat by beat by beat with a save the cat beat sheet kind of thing, which is what I did for my middle grade. Or it could be what I did for Project Dragon, which is just brainstorming scenes and kind of the trajectory of each of the characters' paths in the story, which is also outlining the story. That's what I did with Project Dragon. Hey, if it works for y'all, it works for y'all. I need an ending before I can actually start writing, because then I feel safe enough to start writing, and I'm I know what I have to work towards. So, and then it also helps me get rid of any writer's block, because if ever I have writer's block, I know it's not writer's block, because I know it's not. It's just me having hit a wrong corner in my story and I need to back up and fix. Ooh. I know, like, I know because once you get into like traditional publishing, a lot of like if you want to pitch a story to a publisher, you need to have an outline drawn out so that like they know what happens in it, so that they know whether or not to buy it once you are actually traditionally published and like have a standing with the publisher. So I know like a few of the authors I follow are pantsers by nature, but they have to get over that and like write outlines and like a sort of synopsis before they even start writing the book because they need to try and sell the idea of it, right? So, man, I don't think I could ever not outline. So it's interesting to me to interact with people who just fly by the seat of their pants and write that way. It's cool. It's like a discovery draft. Oh yeah, no, my outlines change so much as I write. I just need to know sort of where the character is going. And like I know what my ending is going to be. So as soon as I got my ending for Project Dragon, I actually allowed myself to start writing. So that was very exciting because it took me a year to get the ending. Anyways, we've been talking for 16 minutes now. Shall we dive into a little bit of a warm-up sprint, my friends? My friends. I usually have a vague idea in a synopsis. Well, that works. That works too. That's like sort of an outline. That is like the most bare bones of an outline. As long as you know where you're going and you know that it works for you, why not, right? This is my makeshift dice tray. It's an Archer Olive journal cover. Anyways, my friends, shall we dive into a little bit of a warm-up sprint? What kind of a warm-up sprint is it going to be? Are we okay with a 16-minute warm-up sprint? Are we all right with a 16-minuter? A 16-minuter? Share screen. Share. Yes, maybe. Yes, maybe. See, this is fine. This is basically outlining. It's basically outlining because you know what you're working towards. But I guess like there's a level of outlining where it's just like bones like this, or if you actually outline chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter, which I know some people who do that and it baffles me because I'm like, how do you know where things are gonna land chapter by chapter wise? Because I write so much that my chapters sometimes have to be split in the middle of a scene because there's too many words. But yes, all right, my friends, we're ready to go. We're gonna do our very first sprint of the day. Have fun, my lovely friends. I will see you in 16 minutes. Sprint. All right, my friends. That is that for the first sprint. How do we feel? How did we do? How are we doing? I've got 388 words on my end added, and I don't know how I like the start of this scene. I don't know about it, but I'm just making myself not think about it and just writing what I want to write, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But yes, how did we all do? How are we feeling as we come to the end of the first sprint? I really want to get to a scene that's a couple scenes ahead, and in this one particular character storyline. But I don't know. I really want to get to one particular scene, but I have to write these few scenes first because I am the kind of person who needs to write things chronologically. Oh, my goodness. I was actually ready during this sprint. Hey, delicious. We love to see it. Amber read back over. Hey, sometimes you need to do that. I was kind of doing that a little bit as I was kind of like settling myself in what I needed to write today, like what kind of scene am I going to be doing. So I'm happy about that. The sentence is a tall guy with stunning dark blue skin covered in scales. Well, you don't necessarily need the word guy there. You could use a descriptor. Literally, if you just say a tall and then like use, for example, a tall human with stunning dark, whatever like race he is. That's a weird word to say. Or species he is. Because it was, because then you can use the, you can give him his pronouns and stuff in his descriptors, right? Like he had this. So then people can go, okay, that's what he's referred to as, right? So you don't necessarily need the word guy there. It can be totally different because I do agree. Guy is very, colloquial and not really something that, I wouldn't use guy in my adult fantasy necessarily unless it was somebody speaking, because then it would be like them being more colloquial. But the word guy doesn't really fit in a high fantasy setting. But that's just my own opinion. RK wrote 611 words. Holy bananas. You are on fire. Incredible. Iona did 192 words. Awesome. I love to see it. Hey, that's okay. We're getting into it. The stream is going to be great. 35 words. We love to see it. Oh, no worries. I am also an editor as my like normal job. It's not like a book editor or anything. It's a editor for a magazine publishing company. So I know how to work with words. I know how to work with words. And I've read so often that I just know. But yes. Well, wonderful, my friends. I always like to do this thing, if you're new to my streams, where I like to share a favorite line from what we just wrote. So if you have a favorite line from what you just wrote or from something previous that you wrote that you want to share, please feel free. I think mine from the scene that I just wrote. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Mine is between two characters who are standing together. One of them is a gnome and one of them is just a human. Maeve is my main character. She's human. And so Nina is the gnome. But the sentence is, Nina's eyes bore into Maeve's back as Maeve took in the night sky, watching as stars began to appear, blinking into existence across the inky blackness. That's probably my favorite sentence that I wrote in this one. Although I will say that like this scene, I can already tell that it needs to be edited because I just looked past at I just looked at a sentence and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's okay. I love it. I get to fight pirates occasionally. Yes. Oh God, I love pirates. God, I love pirates. Oh my God, I need to read more pirate books. I like the only pirate book that I like know for sure that I've read is the bone ships. And even this is like, they mention a few times in here that they're like not pirates. And I'm like, you're pirates. You're literally on the seas going on jobs. You're in dragon bone ships. You're pirates. But they're like, no, we're not pirates. We work for the government or whatever. But the vibes were there. No, don't fall, please. Go back. There. Well, that's really fun. But yes, if anyone else wants to share a sentence from what they wrote, I would love to. Yes, I think it was Mies who says that she's not a pirate. And I'm like, listen, Mies, you are the most piratey bitch on this entire ship. Let's go. I love pirates. Oh my gosh. And it felt like I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean as I was reading that book. So Mies was wrong. She is a pirate. Oh, goodness me. But yes. Also, if you guys want to share, I don't know if you guys are like me and need music or noise when you write, because I need music and noise at all times in my life. I literally cannot sit in silence because my brain will not let me. But I currently am listening to a playlist that I've curated on Spotify, and it's called Dragons, which is awesome. And it's so long. I have like 12 hours of music in here. And that's because I literally have just like drag and dropped the entire soundtracks of multiple movies, like How to Train Your Dragon and Brave, the Disney soundtrack. And I've got the first Hobbit soundtrack, and I've got like the first Fellowship of the Ring soundtrack. Like I just have drag and dropped soundtracks into here, which is why it's 12 hours long. But this is my playlist that I listen to as I'm writing the story, because it is my Project Dragon playlist. And yes, but yeah, what do you guys listen to when you write? I'm very curious. Or if you listen to anything at all. The twins sprinted through the hallways, narrowly avoiding both servants and booby traps in the unseated palace. Ooh, I love it. I love the movement of these kind of sentences when they're like, dipping and diving, and it gives me the feeling of like actually going through like a dungeon crawl in Dungeons and Dragons when you actually have to watch booby traps because you could die. Ooh! Oh my gosh! Those are such good songs. I love me some Taylor Swift. So like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 song choices. And writing a dance scene like a ball? Every book needs a ball. In my opinion, every book needs a ball. And I'm very sad that my book is not going to have a ball in it, because there's literally no opportunity for a ball. There is not a ball. Maybe I could add one in. How could I add one in? Ooh, maybe not like actually attending a ball. It's possible. I'm going to write my idea down, because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Lord. Okay. No. Okay, we need... Nice. Okay. I've added a ball into my scene. It's not a ball where like my characters are going to be at, but it's there and they witness it. Okay. Good. 10 out of 10. I love balls. It's my opinion that every story should have a dance scene. Every story. Why? Because the amount of like, you could be at a ball for a totally different reason, but the amount of like interpersonal relations that happen at a ball, because most often if you're like, for example, in the Regency era, like with Emma or Pride and Prejudice, right? Those balls and those dance scenes, every song is like at least 15 minutes long. So like imagine dancing with somebody for 15 minutes and you have to make conversation for that amount of time, and you are in this moment where like you actually get to touch them, even if it's just their hands, like the tension that gets built into a ball scene. I love it. Like the other day, I was reading one of my friend's pieces of writing, and it was a sci-fi, and it was totally not a ball, but it was like they were going into a club for a mission. And I was like, okay, we know they're there for this mission, but what if they have to blend in, right? What if they just get on the dance floor? And what if they dance? What happens then? Just the interpersonal character stuff that can happen in a ball or any dance scene ever. incredible. Like if I'm writing a contemporary, I want a scene where the two characters just randomly are dancing in their kitchen at 3 a.m. Like I want that scene just because it just adds something. Like when people are physically in contact like that, it just adds something. And I love the tension that's built in those kind of scenes. Oh, so good. 10 out of 10. Anyways. What about the rest of you? I know there's more of you there. What is a favorite sentence you wrote, or you could tell me about, and you can tell me about the music that you listen to, or what you listen to at all. I also listen to like soundscapes and stuff. There are so many soundscapes on YouTube. It's ridiculous. So like I'll switch between like listening to a cafe soundscape where there's like jazz music playing and it's raining outside, to like literally listening to a fantasy tavern soundscape, or watching someone walk through Skyrim and have a Skyrim soundscape. Like it's all there. So I usually have those going during the day just for silence. Not for silence, just for filling the silence. But yes, that's a really good idea. Now I really want to get to that scene. Adding a ball. So fun. I love it. Somebody is outside making too much noise. Terrible. Hell yeah. That's awesome. I love it. I have a tendency, like, with my middle grade, I wrote the entire first draft to, you know, on Spotify, you can, like, go to an artist and then you can click, like, and make a radio off of this artist. I would do that for Cave Town. I don't necessarily like Cave Town's music that much, but I like the vibe of the radio that it gave me. And I wrote the entire first draft to that radio playlist. But when I'm going back through and editing, I can't have music with noise. Music with noise? No. Music with words. So it has to be like soundtracks or classical music or something like that. Because that's just the way my brain works. Fun facts. Anyways, my friends, should we dive into a second sprint? Because we're kind of getting into a groove. So let me get my screen set up, and I will roll my d20s just for funsies. Okay, so we can either do a 15-minute sprint, which is slightly shorter than the last one, or we can fully do a 28-minute sprint. What would you guys prefer? 15 minutes or 28 minutes? You let me know. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the stream. We're getting ready for our second sprint here. What would you guys like? A 15-minute sprint or go in for a longer one at 28 minutes? That's what happens when you roll 3d20s. You get drastic different numbers. But I love it. Ooh, we got one vote for 28 minutes. Anyone else want to chime in? I'm good for either. Truly. I'm good for no matter how long. 20, 28, 28, 28, 28. We love it. Okay, we're going to do 28 minutes. 28 minutes. And my lovely friends, I will see you at the end of 28 minutes. Have fun sprinting in 3, 2, 1. Sprint! All right, my friends. That is the end of that sprint. How did we do? I went so fast. I thought we still had like 6 minutes left. And then all of a sudden it was beeping. Oh, gosh. Goodness me. But I have officially hit 869 words in this draft. So I've added about 500 roughly in that sprint. Not my best. I've just don't know where this exact scene is going, which is why it's taking me a little longer to get the words flowing, but that's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, if you guys missed, we were kind of having a chat about like having multiple ideas on the go. I myself have never been able to work on 2 ideas at once. Because I need to focus entirely on one and be in the world of one to kind of get through it. But I really wish I could work on multiple because I do have an idea for a draft that I am going to try and draft in April, May for a different story, which is part of the self-publishing fantasy series that I was talking about earlier. But I really wish I'm trying to see if I can balance multiple ideas because I tried to do that last year with Camp NaNoWriMo in April. I think it was April. It was either April or July, where I tried to balance both Project Dream, which is the middle grade I now have on Query, and Project Dragon, where it didn't really work. It didn't really work. I ended up working entirely on Project Dream and then a little bit on Project Dragon, and I didn't get much work done on either because I kept sitting there thinking about how much I had to do in both of the projects. But yeah, I always get shiny new ideas. And when I do, I write them down and I just put them away in my brain so that I can think about them another day. But if it's like a big enough idea that my brain just wants to keep working on it and it's just like nagging me, then I let myself have like a day where I sit and brainstorm and plan as much as I can just to get it out of my head. And then I go back to what I was working on. But yeah, I'm mostly a like one pot on the stove kind of cook when I really just want to be multiple pots on the stove, want to be working on everything all at once kind of a person. I think I might be able to kind of break that in my writing because I'm hoping I can, because Project Dragon is an epic fantasy and it's going to take me so long to write. So I'm hoping that I can write other things in between. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. We're going to have another sprint, don't worry. And we're going to do it quicker this time, and we're not going to ramble on forever. We're going to get to that second sprint. But 600 words is awesome. Iona wrote almost 300 and I found a new playlist. Hell yeah. That's always the best when you find new music. Here's the first scene. Hell yeah. So what's next, RK? What's next? Are you going to plan out the next little bit and then write it? Or are you just going to dive in and see where the words take you? So this is how I do my multiple reading. People were asking me that the other day because I put up on my Instagram story that I was in the middle of 6 books and really wanted to start another one because I got a pre-order in the mail. And people were like, how do you balance the time to think of 6 books? And I'm like, well, let me tell you. I have 3 high fantasies on the go. I have Malice, I have Scorpica, and I have the Grace of Kings. 4. And the Dragon Reborn. So I have 4 on the go, but really only 2 that I'm focusing on. These 2 are more back burner ones. And the Grace of Kings is like super big, epic fantasy, and it's a kind of a bit more of a slog to get through. Whereas Scorpica is just, it's delicious. It's like women-led fantasy, and there's like a lot going on, and it's got interesting magic systems, and it's moving a lot quicker for me. So those 2 have different vibes for me. Then I also read like a YA fantasy because YA fantasy always reads different to me, no matter what other fantasy I'm reading. And I also have a classic on the go because I'm trying to finish up Pride and Prejudice, which is a reread for me. And I think that's all I have on the go. Yeah. So I got like back burners and then like different vibes of what I'm reading. But I usually like to have very different vibes. So I'll either have like a YA fantasy or a YA sci-fi, kind of like there as like a palette cleanser, and then like a darker fantasy, a lighter, happier fantasy, or romance, or anything else. But yeah, that's usually how I do my reading, funnily enough. Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want for camp. So you could technically say, I'm going to work on both, and you could do it. But I know the feeling. Hey, revisions are a mess no matter what. Yeah. So to definitely dive in. Incredible. I love that we all have different ways of writing and reading. That makes me so happy. But yes. Does anybody have a line from what they just wrote that they want to share with the class? I think you should write, Iona. And then when the stream is done, then you can procrastinate on Pinterest as a treat. But I know that feeling. Oh God, I know that feeling so well. Like, I'm just going to look up this one thing that I have on Pinterest, and suddenly it's 3 hours later and you're like, oh God, I've done a mood board for 4 different stories. It's usually what I do. But during that sprint, I ended up naming one of my characters who isn't actually alive. It's just like one of my characters, her mother. I needed a name. And I just typed in names like Maeve, because my main character's name is Maeve. And so I ended up picking the name Freya for her mom's name, which I think is quite pretty. Freya's not a character in any way. She's just kind of, her impression has been left since she, died many years ago, but... My mother is texting me. Anyways, yes. Does anyone have a line they want to share? I'm going to see if I have one. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I don't really know. I don't really have a line that's like super standing out to me. I guess I could do this one. So Maeve has now come back with her party. She's my main character. She's a dragon keeper. They've brought back an injured dragon and an unconscious adventuring party member who was part of the adventuring party that hurt the dragon in the first place. And he's unconscious, and they're just like, well, what the hell do we do with him? Because he's injured, and he was like thrown against the wall, so he's knocked out. But they're now standing there, and Ira is one of the other characters. And so Ira poured Maeve a steaming mug of tea, the swirls of steam scented with mint and some other herb Maeve couldn't name. She hadn't really wanted to come here, but after seeing that the injured dragon was taken care of, her shoulder injury bound and salved with a slightly sweet-smelling salve. I need to remove the double salve there. It's fine. That glowed in the darkness of the cavern. Maeve figured she could come here and try to figure out why the adventuring party had been up in the mountains in the first place. Not my favorite, but it's something. It's something. So now we're going to get into a little bit of detective work, which is intriguing. Detective work is always fun when it's just like the guy's unconscious, so they can't ask him any questions. All they have is him, his body, I guess, and his bag, because they brought his bag with him. So they're going to go through his bag, and they're going to find some stuff. It's going to be fun. Excited. All right. Rena removed the plate from the holster on her hip and flung it into the sofa beside his arm. Woo! Very fun. I can feel some banter happening. Anytime you have a scene where there's a character who just starts like fiddling with a knife, and they just like start having this back and forth between like, oh, you're getting better, or like something like that. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. That's okay, Amber. Welcome back. I see started to burn as it thought of. Hey, still something. I like it. Is this an enemies to lovers situation? Because I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it brewing. I love it. I mean, twins can have really good banter. Twins can have really good banter. Because, siblings. But not in the vein of banter that we... Yes. Not that kind of banter. Oh, good. Yes. Love, enemies to lover situation. Yes. So good. I was listening to a podcast. It's the same podcast that I've been listening to for a week now. And I'm re-listening to it because I'm sad that there's not more material out with it. I've caught up to their live. Every 2 weeks they release an episode kind of a thing. So I'm re-listening to it because I'm insane. But it's Pod and Prejudice, which is about them. They're reading through Jane Austen's work. But one of the things that they mentioned about Pride and Prejudice is that it is the OG hate to love kind of thing, enemies to lovers. And one of the things that they mentioned was that the opposite of love is indifference. So the fact that when people in the situation of enemies to lovers are so they just hate the other person, and they're always they're kind of almost to the level of being obsessed with how much they hate them, that is not fully the opposite of love, right? You can tell that they feel something for this person. So I love that idea of having the fact that the opposite of love is indifference. So they have feelings for each other and they are going to bloom into love. I love it. Oh God, that's the fear of a lifetime. Oh Lord. Anyways, we should start another sprint. I'm going to roll 3d20s and we're going to have 2 time options like always. Okay. So we can either do... What is that? Oh, it's a 9. Lol. I was what is that? So we can either do... Y'all, I really can't do math. We can either do 23 minutes or we can do 25 minutes because I rolled 2. 23 or 25. Probably 25 because that was the longer one. Let me set up my timer one more time. Share screen. Chrome tab. Share. Okay. All right, so I got 25 minutes. Everybody says 25, 25, 25. All right, for our third sprint today, we're going to do 25 minutes. All right, my friends. I'll see you at the end of it. In 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, my friends. That brings us to the end of that sprint. How did we do? That also went way too fast. Way too fast. But I am now sitting at 1,608 words for today's stream. Oh, goodness me. I've managed to hit the 16,000 word mark in my draft, though, which is exciting. Lots of 16s. 1,608 words today so far. So that was like, what? Added another like 700 words in that sprint. Fairly good. I agree, Carly. That was really fast. Oh, goodness. Maybe I'm used to like the 30 plus minute sprints that we were doing last week, but that went so quickly. I look at the timer, 6 minutes left. I look up, 2 seconds, like crazy. It goes so quickly. But yes. Another 700 words further into the draft. Very exciting. We've got my two characters currently working with a journal they found in the guy's bag. Hey, that's pretty good for the day. Hitting that 1,200 word mark for the day. So good. It's good for me. Hey, that's really exciting. Oh my goodness. Introducing the second main character. Is there anything spicy in that scene that you want to tell us about, that you want to share? Anybody have any fun sentences that they want to share that they wrote? Or bits of dialogue, since we were talking about dialogue during the stream or during the sprint in the chat. Is I am having a good chuckle on my scene right now because my two characters, Ira and Maeve, are sitting with the unconscious form of a guy that they found with the dragon, and they're going through his journal right now that they found in his bag, because they're like, we want to know like why this guy was part of the adventuring party, or why the adventuring party was up there anyways. So they're going through his journal, and on the first page, it basically says that, like, dear journal, that is how one is supposed to begin such tomes, is it not? I am uncertain of my professors, and whether or not they are rightfully certified enough to be teaching us these subjects of which they are supposed to be masters. Like, this guy is the most pompous dick, and I'm so excited for them to interact with him through his writing first. Because, like, you know, personal journals, you're always a little bit more, I don't know, loose with what you're saying, because it's your own personal journal and you're filtering your ideas down, right? So I don't know. I think it's fun. But Jem, the guy, he's going to be a character, and it's going to be really interesting to see his arc, because he's going to be like, when he wakes up, essentially, he's still this like pompous scholar guy who thinks he knows everything. But he quickly learns that he is so out of his realm, and he quickly humbles himself, which is good, because he needs to be humbled. He's an asshole, but it's good. It's fun. I love him. Very exciting. Merch is always exciting. I love it. Finish a chapter. We love to see it. I am so woefully not in the horror genre. So I have no recommendations for you, Carly. But does anybody else have any cottage aesthetic horror books? So, like, I don't know. I've never read any of these, but like The House at the Bottom of the Lake, or is there any, like, you know, isolated house type of thrillers? Isn't there one that, like, there's a deaf girl? Or is that a movie? There's a deaf girl who lives in a pretty isolated cabin, and she, like, the whole story is the guy just messing with her, trying to break into her house, and she's just trying, like, to kill her, and she's just like, nah. Nah, I can't hear you, you're not there. I don't know if that's a movie or a book. I cannot say, but yeah, I am the last person to come to for horror recommendations, because the only horror that I've read is like Riley Sager, and that's more thriller. So, and I've only read one of their books. having fun? Met any people worthy of your presence tonight? Ooh, I like it. Duchess Rain. It's very good company. When you become Empress, treat her good. Yes. Oh my god. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh. I should have probably clarified. I mean, like anything fun, not necessarily spicy in like the heat, like romantic department. Just like fun and spicy scenes that are like super fun to write. Sometimes when I say spicy, I don't mean like sexually or romantically spicy. I just mean like fun. That we're just, I don't know, fun to write. Ooh, filtered air. We love it. A little bit of world building. Incredible. Very good. I like it. Give me almost something that's good. Please kill the guy off. I mean, we'll see where he gets to, but he has some important stuff to do in the story. He's essentially our eyes in the Dragon Sanctuary. My book has a Dragon Sanctuary in it. And my main character, Maeve, is like one of the people that helps runs it. Like her mom like built the place and whatever. So she helps like run it and keeps the dragons all safe and what have you. He comes in and he becomes the eyes at the Dragon Sanctuary because Maeve goes off and has her own adventure like somewhere else because she of other circumstances. But it's really interesting because I really just wanted to make sure that there was somebody still at the sanctuary because I just want to include dragons in my story somehow. But yeah, he has important things to do before he could, be removed from the story in any kind of way. But yeah, he does humble himself pretty quickly because he realizes how out of his depth he is quite quick. Because you can't study people in a book, right? Like you can't, I mean, you can study a culture in a book, but you can't really understand it unless you're there living with the people, right? Or going on an adventure or whatever. And he's so green, like he just, all he knows is books. So he's just a little rich boy. I love it. Good. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love that the second main character woke up in prison. Ooh, so good. All right, my friends. It is 3:00 here, so I think we should do one last sprint to carry us through because I have to make sure that I am ready for the Wi-Fi guy because he's coming around 4. I hope he comes around 4 so that I can have my evening properly to myself. But I'm ready for one more sprint. Oh, God, that's a lot of time. So it can either be a 20-minute sprint or a 35-minute sprint, which is quite long. I think I might split the difference. Let's say I don't know. How do I split the difference with this? There's no way to split the difference. So either a 35-minute sprint or a 20-minute sprint to finish out today. How would you guys like to proceed? How would you like to proceed? For our last sprint, let me get my timer set up. Would you like to go fully long? Or would you like to go and have a little bit of a shorter one to end us off? Ooh, we got one vote for the 20 and one vote for the 35. Anybody else chiming in? Anybody else chiming in? What if I split the difference and say 25 minutes? That's kind of splitting the difference. Or 27, 25, 25 minutes? How does 25 minutes sound? Ooh, we got more votes for 20 minutes. Ooh. To end out the stream. Yeah, maybe we'll do a 20-minute sprint. 20 minutes sounds good to me. Or 25. Okay, we'll do 20 or 25. Which one? 20 or 25? Vote away, my friends. Vote away. I'm good with either. I'll put my little D20s away. Oh, we got another vote for 20. All right. Maybe the shorter sprint is good. Let's do the 20-minute. A little shorter sprint. Just, I say that. Shorter sprint. It's not really a shorter sprint, but a slightly less intense sprint for our last sprint of the stream. I think that's a good idea. All right, my friends. Enjoy the last sprint of the stream, and I'll see you in 20 minutes. Sprint. All right, my friends. That was the end of that. How do we feel now that we've come to the end of the stream? How are we doing? How are you guys feeling? I've officially hit the 2,500 word mark, which is fantastic. That was almost, I think, about 900 words this stream. I'm into the zone. I'm into it. I love writing scenes where I can just kind of sit with two characters and have them like talking to each other, figuring something out, and like really getting the dynamic between them, which is what this scene really is. They're reading a journal, as I said before, but you know, they are doing things. But all right, Jenna, thank you for joining. Fellow Jenna, hello. It was lovely to meet you and to have you here. Have a lovely rest of your Saturday. I love it. Oh, yes, I'm going to, kind of tidy a bit. I have to move my piano because the Wi-Fi guy is going to come and he's probably going to want to check out the plugins behind my piano for the Wi-Fi coax cables and stuff. And my piano is so heavy. I had to move it yesterday. Heavy. Heavy. But I got to move it so that I don't have to move it when he's here, because that would be embarrassing. Heck yeah, Iona. Incredible. Brain fried. Lunch finished and wrote just a little, hey, take a little break. Take a little break. Take your evening. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And I'm glad that you know where you want to start writing tomorrow. That's awesome, RK. Incredible. All right, my friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was great. I got 2,500 words written in the stream. I'm into a new scene, and I'm liking it. I'm finally divulging bits of what this man could possibly be there for. Very exciting. I love it. Anyways, my friends, I think I'm going to call it here. I hope you have the best of Saturdays and the best of evenings, the best of nights. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And I'll see you in another live stream or a video very soon. Goodbye, friends.